I watched the academic shit. For one, I'm gonna say this: it was very, very, very entertaining, and
That's a given.
That's a given. But Wack, he brought up something that a lot of people don't like to talk about. And, you know, I could be a hypocrite right now and say, oh, yeah, this is true. Fuck all this and all that. But no, the truth of the matter is, Wack said there's a lot of niggas who got snitches in their hoods. And I talk about this shit all the time, basically, is that you can pay to play now and gain culture. They ain't supposed to be like that. But, you know, if a nigga got a bag, he can have paperwork and niggas will look the other way, which ain't the real principles if you want to stick to this shit.
But what is the point of this whole argument? To prove that, oh, there are other people who are bad people, so therefore we should just totally forget about the fact that 6ix9ine is like evidently a bad person?
See, and you know, when Wack was here and he did the fucking interview, I told him, he was like, hey, 6ix9ine is a villain. I was like, fuck no. And I told him my reasoning for that. I don't believe that he was a villain. I believe that he fucking thought he can hang around in this shit. He got caught and he betrayed people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I mean, when you really think about gang banging and how the shit goes, bro, like when you go to jail, niggas will fuck your baby mama. When you go do other things, people will do grimy things too. Your homies will shoot at you and do all type of stuff. And in our culture, we're told to not say nothing about that shit. So if you join that shit, that's what comes with the shit. You don't flip on your peoples. But with Wack, I understand that this is a bigger business move when it comes down to that shit.
Wack wants to make the fight happen.
Yeah.
Wack would not, like, Wack knew, I think, this is my impression of what went on with that, is that Wack knew that if he got in a room with 6ix9ine and they had a conversation, that it would probably be the beginning of him being able to make this big fight dream happen. That is, and full disclosure, I was just speaking to him, but it does seem that there's a significant chance that this could happen with the 6ix9ine and Blueface thing.
And then too, he was saying, nephew, could that guy join your neighborhood? And I'm like, no. So you know, his analogy of it is he wasn't supposed to be this in the first place, so he's looking at him like a civilian. I don't look at him like a civilian.
My thing is, what I got from listening to that is that 6ix9ine desperately wants people to like him, to fuck with him. It pisses him off so much that he's basically like blackballed from a lot of things in rap. You know, none of these rappers will work with him. Rappers just casually shit on him and stuff. And it's like, you would kind of think that after snitching and putting all those guys behind bars, that he would, like, you know, we all kind of predicted that he would come home humble. Instead, he seems like really concerned with convincing everybody how tough he is. He's bragging about not having security over and over and over. He's talking about how, you know, anyone can run up on him. Do you agree with the thing Wack said about, I feel like you basically have already accepted it that somebody might kill you and you like don't really care?
Yeah, bro. That's how same way I feel about Quando Rondo. It's just like, hey, check it out. Like, you already know there's a target on your back. Either way it goes, there's no way to rectify the situation. So you can either live in fear for the rest of your life, or you can just fucking just live your life and whatever happens, happens. I think they're happy and accepting that. Well, not happy, but I think they accepted that something may happen to them, and you know they came to terms with that shit. And they're gonna live their life.
6ix9ine just bragging about not having security just seems like the dumbest thing ever.
I don't care.
Like, what do you think the reaction would be like if somebody did do something to him right now? Like, it would be weird because it would be like, you were just on this podcast that millions of people saw bragging about how you didn't have anyone around protecting you.
Hey man, it is what it is. You know, whatever Wack is doing, that's on him. Me personally, I don't fuck with the snitching, the rats, and all that shit. But like Wack was saying though, I can't sit here and be fake. There's a lot of niggas who got snitches in their hoods that they don't deal with. So if you're gonna play them politics with 6ix9ine, you got to play that shit in your own backyard too.
But do you think anybody will start fucking with him?
Yeah, I think
and
so.
Who will it be? Because currently we're on nothing.
I mean, but honestly, bro, the fact that he's getting a lot of press right now, and I feel like a lot of people don't care. Like, if you don't care about the street side of things, then who gives a fuck?
But this is the whole thing with 6ix9ine, is that it's obvious that, like, one thing that he did not talk about at all in that interview, which he used to talk about all the time, every other fucking minute, is about how successful his music is. And keep in mind, they just put out an album that was #2 or whatever, and he had this videos that got billions of views or whatever. And now he doesn't even talk about putting out music or as if he's going to make a comeback as a rapper. Like that seems like it's the last thing on his mind. Now, granted, I get it. You probably have enough money that that's not like a big concern. But it's weird to see that like that has almost vanished from his conversation, because that was always such a big part of his identity. He wanted to prove that he was the toughest rapper and that nobody could say shit to him and that he was the most protected by these gangs, whatever. And he still basically does that by just saying like nobody will do anything to me. But then he used to always just brag about how successful his music was, and it's like he's completely forgotten about that side of things.
Well, I look at it like this. There's way more civilians than there are gang members. You feel me? If you're a civilian, just like I said, when people ask me how they felt about him being on Fresh and Fit, I said Fresh and Fit are supposed to interview him.
But he wasn't on Fresh and Fit.
Well, no, but that's what people were saying, though, because before the interview came out, they used their space. But even like I told you, if you didn't talk too much bad shit about the nigga, I wouldn't care that you did an interview with the nigga, because you're a fucking civilian. You feel me?
Right.
I mean, unless you want to be something else, but yeah, you're a fucking civilian, bro. So you're not supposed to hop into street politics. Now, I couldn't have a nigga on my show because I stand for something. People look at me in a certain type of light. But if you're not like that, then who gives a fuck?
What do you think about the fact that I feel like I've seen more people mad at Wack100 over the fact that he sat down and talked to 6ix9ine than I've ever seen anyone mad at him over anything?
And I understand that 100%, because if you stick to the code says that you don't fuck with snitches, we don't fuck with rapists, we don't fuck with certain individuals. Once you tell, if you a street nigga and you tell, your rep is supposed to be gone after that shit.
And that's what 21 was saying. I don't feel like no street dude should be even having a conversation with a snitch.
I understand that he's doing something else as far as business wise, and to the climate of, I don't look at rappers and I don't look at this industry as the streets. This shit is fake as fuck. You feel me? And anytime that rappers try to put real street shit in this industry, it always goes fucking bad. It always goes left and shit like that. So you can't apply it to me. You can't apply those principles when it comes down to entertainment. And I think what Wack is saying is that he never looked at 6ix9ine as a gang member to begin with, so he doesn't have a problem with talking to a civilian.
I don't understand how you could like join a gang, carry red rags in your video, be claiming that you're in a gang. You've got a bunch of dudes who verifiably are in a gang, saying that you're in a gang, and then
sending hits, doing all type of shit.
And then it's like, no, he wasn't really in a gang. He snitched, but he wasn't really in a gang. It's like, you were in the gang. You were a part of all these shoots. Like, the most basic definition of a gang member is like somebody who, is part of a criminal organization that is meant to make money. And see, clearly that's what he was part of, even if he soon after swore off of it or relinquished his title.
And the logistics of it, I think, makes people sympathetic for him. They be like, oh man, nigga fucked your baby mama. Oh, nigga did this too. They try to kidnap you.
He just tries to add context anytime he has a microphone in front of him to make people understand that they would do it. But that's the whole thing about people snitching, is like, you don't think that Bobby Shmurda probably had all kinds of shit in front of him that made him feel like, oh, maybe I should do it. He still didn't do it.
Yeah, because he stands for something.
Nobody said that not snitching was going to be easy.
No.
I mean,
don't join the life if you're going to tell on somebody.
To me, it's so obvious that he's going to do this sort of pivot, right? Like, there's like a thing that you can do. Jake Paul pulled it off. Conor McGregor, his model of basically like, you're big, you're famous, but people don't really like you that much. Like, that was the problem that Jake Paul was in, where it's like he built up this big YouTube channel, but the image of his YouTube channel was like, it was for kids. It's for like little kids. It's for like teenagers, maybe even younger, etc. And then all of a sudden, Jake Paul finds himself, he's like 21, and it's like all of a sudden kind of cringy for you to be making videos for little kids when you're like a grown man. So what's he do? He takes the fact that people hate him and he becomes a fucking Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather style boxer, where he really like embraces the fact that people hate him. He starts saying as many outlandish things as possible. He starts calling out every fucking fighter. And then meanwhile, he actually gets pretty good, it would seem, at fighting. But to me, it kind of seems like 6ix9ine is going to go in that direction, because he's famous as fuck, but people don't really want to hear him rap. I couldn't really see him being in like a movie.
See, I disagree. I feel like the people love 6ix9ine and the industry people in the industry don't like him. So it makes it seem that way. Because if you ever look at the comments, it's all these fucking kids champion him.
But okay. And granted, his music did sell like not terrible. Like if we were judging him based on like the standards that we judge other rappers, and he sold what, like 30K in the first week or some shit. I mean, that's okay. Like that's fine. But he is not willing to accept himself just being another rapper who is getting like okay amounts of views or whatever. He's just not willing to sort of put himself into that slot and just be this sort of mediocre rapper. He wants to be accepted and be capable of being considered one of the biggest rappers in the world, and it makes him so fucking mad that nobody thinks he can do that.
But
or nobody regards him that way now.
We got to be 100 if we're going to be 100 on all the chords. If you're blackballed from playlists, that's going to take a big amount of your sales away too.
And
so
you know that's probably part of why he's like not dropping music is because he knows he's not going to get that kind of support.
Yeah.
Because listen, that last project didn't do like impressive numbers on the album. Like obviously his YouTube videos, however it happens, they get mad millions of views. If he puts out another project, it's gonna do worse than that one.
I don't know.
So he can't do it. It can't unless he actually manages to make a lot of music that people really want to listen to. His next album, the first album out of prison did well because yes, like somebody like me wants to hear what you have to say out of prison, so we're gonna listen to it. That makes sense. The next one has to do worse. So if the last one did like 30K or whatever, this one's gonna do 20K. Unless you manage to make it fucking huge. And as a rapper, how do you make an album huge? Well, typically one of the main ways that people do it is that they fucking embrace just working with a ton of different artists. It doesn't seem like he really has any artists that are dying to work with him. Well, so what's he gonna do?
Who knows? I don't care.
He could. You know what I think actually would work if he did it? He should go like rap rock. Couldn't you see him with like a band?
I could see that.
And like doing that kind of shit? Because that world...
He should rejoin City Morgue.
You know? But if he made like City Morgue style stuff
exactly.
and he performed with a band and shit. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it still wouldn't make him happy, I don't think, at the end of the day, because I don't think that he cares about anything as much as he cares about being respected in rap.
Yeah.
That's like his people. Even if he had a huge career making rock music or whatever, I still he should go the MGK route.
Rap is based on the
but
streets.
Not pop punk.
The
Make it more metal.
Consumers. Rap is based on the streets. The consumers are not street people, so they don't care about the streets.
But what is hot in rap music is still largely dictated by the streets.
Yeah.
Wait,
because if every artist puts this in front of you, this is the guy that we like, this is the guy we like, guess what? People are going to sit there and gravitate to that. Mm-hmm. But the average motherfucker, the average consumer who doesn't gangbang, who goes to work and they pay for concerts, they don't care if somebody is snitching or not, or they're not doing no shit.
But if that's true, then why was 6ix9ine one of the biggest artists in the world, and then he came out and put out an album and didn't really sell that good? And his shit just doesn't seem that popular anymore.
He lost all his promo.
He got blackballed from everything.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, to some extent, the casual fans do care. If somebody like Lil Durk and whoever else like looks at you like they don't like you, that is going to have an effect on the minds of a lot of other people in the game, because if they know, oh, Lil Durk's my favorite rapper, or I like fucking Drake, or I like Blueface, or whoever, all these people that have made it perfectly clear they don't fuck with them, I mean, that shit does have an effect on the consciousness. I mean, if he does have a plan to drop music, he hasn't indicated it at all.
Hey, man. Whatever that nigga do, he do. I don't care about the kid. It is what it is.
I thought it was crazy that he, during that interview, called out Unwell. And it's like, that's the last dude who actually is down to collab with you, and now you're calling him out, too.
No, he called him out because he wasn't down to collab with him.
Oh, really? Okay. No, but
I just why you're not allowed to talk.
Change this part.
Why is he on the podcast if he can't talk?
I just saw the title where it said...
I gotta pee.
You didn't even watch it?
I didn't even watch it. I just saw the title. I'm a title reader for this one.
You got the story wrong, because number one, 6ix9ine was on there talking about how Anuel dissed him in the club and basically said that he didn't want anything to do with him, but he didn't have a problem with him. And then
he had approached them about it.
The further way that this conversation has gone on is that I saw this short clip with academics talking to 6ix9ine, and 6ix9ine was basically saying that like Anuel hit him up and said that didn't happen or whatever, but then 6ix9ine was insisting that it did happen. Either way, I mean, that's just another artist on the list who's not going to work with him.
Yeah, exactly. Which there's like really none left at this point.
Yeah, it's such a weird fucking thing to see him in this spot where like everyone kind of pays attention to what he has going on, but like even I just can't get over the fact that he didn't talk about music once on that thing. But it's not like anyone even thought to suggest to him that he was gonna really be putting out music anytime soon. I don't know.
Yeah, and like unlike the Jake Paul situation, like I don't see him becoming a boxer. Like Jake Paul's already kind of physically fit. Like he doesn't seem like he's not tall. You know, like he doesn't seem ripped at all.
We
or, like,
haven't seen from 6ix9ine any indication that he actually like is capable of like getting really in shape, or like, you know, the boxing thing seems like kind of an obvious thing for him, and he did lose a bunch of weight at one point, but like, you know, it's like we haven't seen anything that would indicate that he would be good at boxing by any means. I mean, he does seem like he really wants to fight whoever, Lil Durk, anyone.
you think it's possible of him getting that 20 million he's asking for to fight Blueface?
I mean, to me, it sounds insane. But
Yeah, right?
That was the number that Wack was tossing around on the phone earlier too.
That seems like unreasonable. I feel like if there's anything 6ix9ine can do right now, it's be like a Twitch or a YouTube streamer. I feel like he could transition to that and like make money off that, and people wouldn't care as much.
I mean, think about why he doesn't want to do that, because that's like it's that like
That's not his image,
compared to being a rapper.
Exactly.
Being a popular Twitch streamer is like you're a fucking homeless person. No, it's not actually. In reality, it's not like that, because really, if you were to look at what like the top streamers make, they probably make more than like damn near most rappers.
Facts.
But in
Consistently.
terms of like social currency, you know, rappers are considered to be the top of the fucking food chain in a lot of ways,
100%.
besides maybe like movie stars or athletes. But then meanwhile, Twitch streamers are like considered like bottom rung.
Yeah.
Because like he could there's so many things he obviously could do. He could have a podcast, he could be a huge streamer, he could be a huge YouTube channel guy,
he
whatever.
could switch genres of music where they don't care about snitching.
But,
you know,
but then what? Yeah, these are all valid options that you would think that he would be pursuing if he wanted to. But instead, what's he want to do? He wants to go to clubs that he knows that other rappers are in, just to prove that these rappers aren't going to fuck with him, I guess. And I mean, everything he does, he wants to go to fucking King Von's hood. He wants to fucking pull up the Nipsey Memorial.
See, that's the other part of it too that is fucked up to me, is that you're doing this, you're dissing dead niggas, you're saying all this stuff, and you can't play the civilian card when you're doing shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, like.
But that 6ix9ine still talks about him being in the Bloods as if he was in the Bloods. He's like, when I was in the Bloods. Like he doesn't think of himself as not a gangster. He said on that fucking Academics pod, he said, I'm the biggest gangster in the game. And then when they're like, why?
He
He's
said
like,
because he takes care of his peoples, and that's gangster.
like,
to him.
what the fuck is wrong? Why do people say this?
just
Like, listen,
redefine words.
If I take care of my kids, like I take care of my kid, I take care of my girl. We got a nice house. I go to work every day and I do my job.
Gangster.
That's not what gangster means. That's only gangster in the sense of like if AD comes in wearing a cool hat, I'm like, ooh, that hat is gangster.
I know.
It's not like your hat is really associated with a gang. It's a figure of speech.
Yeah, exactly.
Saying that's gangster. My dad went to work every day and he earned an honest living.
Gangster.
That was gangster. But that doesn't mean he's a gangster. Like, why are we so easily fooled? Why would he think that he would be able to get up in front of all these people, in front of Wack100, and just say, I take care of my family and I take care of people around me? What are you talking about? The people around you were all in jail. And now, granted, yes, some of those people may have done things to you that you have a reason to be. I wish that Wack was a little bit more informed.
I have homies from my neighborhood that have done shit to me,
listen,
bro.
I wish that Wack was a little bit more informed about the details of what 6ix9ine did, because there's a lot of people that he tattled on that he would not be able to sit in that chair and defend tattling on those specific people if Wack actually put him to the test. Wack was not, obviously, he's not the kind of guy that's going to be studying up fucking criminal cases.
One of my favorite movies is The Goodfellas. And if you look at The Goodfellas, bro.
It's called Goodfellas, not The Goodfellas.
No, it's Goodfellas, though. But you seen Goodfellas, right?
I have seen The Goodfellas.
What was one of the number one rules that they told him as a boy? They said, you don't never tell on your friends.
Don't never?
No, you said you don't tell on your friends. And to me, being gangster is standing for something, taking care of your peoples, and when shit hits the fan, you do not fold.
Now we can all argue that he saddled up with a bad gang,
No,
or at least a gang that
all
had
gangs,
some bad intentions.
No, all gangs are like that.
Exactly, because if you sign up in any criminal organization, of course there's going to be some dudes who are fucking assholes, and especially if you're not really like taking care of them.
Yeah, like everyone's nice
And
there.
If everybody's broke
You know-
as fuck and you clearly have tens of millions of dollars, we know how this goes.
Do you know how many niggas I know as soon as they went to jail, niggas was fucking their baby mamas, bad mouthing them. They would kill their little bro. Dude, it's all type of shit, bro, that gets fucked up into this gang lifestyle, bro. So
But you still aren't allowed to snitch.
you're still not allowed to snitch, bro.
Even if you are locked up, you're doing 20 years.
Let me tell you something.
Meanwhile, all your homies are doing fucked up shit.
I have a homeboy
Treating your baby mama like Kazumi.
I have a homeboy, bro, who didn't do this crime. My other homeboy did it. You feel me? He did 10 years, my nigga, for a crime that he did not do. He never told on my homeboy one time, bro. You
That's
feel
living
me?
life with conviction. That's crazy.
I mean, but that's what you signed. If you sign up for this shit, you have to know what comes. Right now, bro, if somebody said, hey, AD, you're getting 40 years for something that you didn't do, I am not going to snitch, bro.
But
I stand for something, bro.
What if they're running trains on your baby mama?
Nigga, still, it's death before dishonor, bro. That's
But
how
10
this
years
shit is.
later, did you ask him, like, 10 years later, does he still have the same mentality? Like, oh, that was worth it. You know, that was worth holding
No,
my
it's not.
coat.
It's not the fact that it was worth it, because what the other guy should have did is, hey, you know, I don't want my homie to do 10 years for something I did. He
confessed
should have
it.
did that. But
Yeah.
everybody is not solid like that,
And
bro.
Wack's argument when we were on the phone earlier is kind of like, these dudes, all the 9 trays, they fucked up originally.
They did, though.
by talking about their business on the phone and having
Bro,
recordings.
he told on shit that he didn't even know nothing of. He wasn't around for.
Right. But he's talking about before all that. Wack was saying those 9 Trey Bloods were already in the wrong because they were talking about criminal actions on the phone
Everyone
in such
breaks
a way.
that rule.
Yeah. I mean,
No one follows that rule.
listen,
dude.
like the argument isn't don't snitch unless the other criminals are bad at crime and then you can snitch.
Yeah, right?
I'm pretty sure that the whole
don't snitch
gangster thing is
ever.
pretty much like you just never do it.
Bro, if your worst enemy, my nigga, comes in your house and tries to kill you, my nigga, and the police ask you, you're supposed to not say nothing. Don't join this gang shit if that's not what you're prepared for.